Welcome, Crypto Tengu. Tell- give him a big shout out, Stoney.
What a guan dollhouse. It's your boy Stoney I alongside Sultry Dubs live and direct. Beyond the NFT. More fire.
Mofaya, let's go. Welcome to the Dollhouse, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on another Monday evening. For those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Sinful, and I am your host for Beyond the NFT. As you all heard just now, we got the Stoney fam in the building. It's a really exciting episode tonight because it is our first ever Beyond the NFT Family Edition with, everyone, Decentraland's favorite couple. We have Sultry Dubs and Stoney Eye. Welcome, guys.
Awesome.
Hi,
Thank you for having us.
Stoney, it seems to be like you're back for another first time in a way. Like this is the first family episode. You were here. You were featured in the first Beyond the NFT episode.
I know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to see how much you've grown and how much you've done and just the whole movement. And I'm super honored to be a part of it, and I'm super honored to be on the first one. That was history in the making right there.
Definitely, and I mean, from my point of view, I can say it was some wild times because I personally did not know what's going on. But
You did awesome, and you've gotten even better. But you started off strong. I mean, it's one of those things that's there's always room to improve, but as long as you keep grinding.
Only gets easier.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us tonight. For our new members that have joined in between the time since you last been here, Stoney, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, let's see. I'm from California, born and raised here. I was born in a little town called Ojai. Been in LA for a while now. That's where I met Sultry, was here in LA, and kind of just following my musical journey is what led me to LA. Try to surround myself by crazier, harder working, better musicians than just the people that were in my small town, and I met Sultry, and the rest is history, as they would say.
Oh, totally. Um, so, around what times did you and Sultry meet? Like, let's say like decade, we can say, if you don't want to get too specific.
At least we'll put it that way. Longer than you guys probably think. It's been a long time.
I love it. I love it. And Sultry, thank you so much for being here tonight. I've been thinking of a Sultry Dubs Beyond the NFT episode for a long time, and my dream came true. You are here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I love this. I love Monday nights at 7. I love hearing different stories from different people in the community. I always look forward to this day.
Thank you. And for all our new community members, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe a little about your artistic background.
Okay. I'm from California, from Long Beach. I've really kind of moved around a lot as a child, but Long Beach has always been like my base. I have a, let's see, artistic background. I would say started with like jewelry making. I'm like a hands-on creative kind of person with jewelry and like making clothes and things like that. That's probably where my creative background starts. As far as like, and then I play music. I was in a band. I played keyboard in 2 bands, and then started DJing after that. I'm a really shy speaker, just so you know. I don't talk about myself that much, like, so
Oh,
you have to like pry it out of me.
oh, it's all right. It's all right. So you said that your creatively, your background started off with jewelry making. Do you still make jewelry?
So I haven't since I had little Stoney. I haven't really made any jewelry since then, but I definitely want to get back into it. But I was making jewelry before little Stoney. So yeah.
Okay. So, I guess this could be a question for both of you. When did you two first find out about the Central Land?
Well, yeah, I had to look to my popes because I'm so horrible at dates. I was telling you that before. I'm like, people that know like the exact date, like in 2016 at 4 p.m. on fucking Thursday, I did this. I'm just like, so my first pope was on March 12th, 2021. I was in Decentraland for at least a couple months before I got my first pope. So, but not like super active. I'd jump in here and there. So me and her jumped in together for the first time. Somewhere back then, I found a video of Maddie, the blogger,
Oh,
talking
Medikey?
about, yeah, he's going by, I think Neo back then was his name, and he had that Dapcraft crazy hair thing that I just got. Like he was like wearing that and explaining how it was like super rare, and is just took you on a basic tour and was talking about art shows and showing some art and stuff, and like it just instantly sparked my interest, and like I was just like, I'm not, because I'd heard about Decentraland, I'd seen like probably some news thing about digital land or something like that. Never really looked much into it or thought much about it, so I was familiar with Decentraland as far as like not necessarily the metaverse, but something that was like digital land, like that was about my knowledge on it. But as soon as I seen him running around and heard him how excited he was and talking about art galleries in there and just wearables and owning land and all this stuff, it just, I don't know, it just really piqued my interest, and I was instantly mesmerized by the whole experience.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, uh, with my personal experience, I can kind of relate to you. Well, you said that while you said that you heard about virtual land, I, on the other hand, heard about mana, and like I had read up on mana, saying it always said first decentralized metaverse and an open world platform, and but like that's as far as I really went. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I didn't think it was developed until a friend showed me, or yesterday last year, he showed me like the
It's crazy.
metaverse.
Crazy. So we're in here on your anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Usually my anniversaries last a week.
Your anniversary party will be after our interview, right?
Yes, most definitely. Enjoy a little music, vibe with the community. The core community has just grown so much since like I can probably date this back since when I met Stoney. Stoney, I believe I probably met you around like November of 2021. We my earliest memory of you is us chatting it up in the one at the Wonder Mines.
Holy, yeah. No, I totally remember that. It's funny because I go to the Wonder Mine literally every night. I think I've missed like 2 nights since I've been in Decentraland, and one of the main reasons is to just stay close to the newer community, because that's a lot still, one of the main places when people first jump in that they go. I've met so many people just from hanging out there. Like, you know, even when I first jumped in, that's where I met, you know, Izu and
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Green Thumb and,
Yeah.
you know, Skelebits and like all the, you know, the old school crew. Zeta, the first time I seen Zeta was in the Wonder Mine, you know, so.
Yep. And everyone was still crowding around him, huh?
Totally. He was a rock star, even probably more back then because there was less drip.
Zoo?
No, Zeta.
Oh, Zeta, yeah.
There was less drip back then, so like when he
Mhm.
would roll through with his Dapcraft and Wonderbot stuff, like so dripped out, it was just like you're just like, oh my god, who is this guy? Like you knew he had to be somebody.
So, a comment from the Twitch chat. Manis says, "Literally, Stoney was my first DCL experience. I hold that close to my heart."
Awesome. I love hearing that. You know, I've heard that a couple times, and you know, I I love to be able to, you know, do events and to bring that vibe and to have people a place where they come in and see that sense of community, you know, outside of Wonder Zone, because a lot of people are in Wonder Zone. They're always asking like, what is there to do, what goes on, and I always tell people, you know, go to events and connect with the other part of the community that's not just hanging out in the casino or at the Wonder Zone, which I love both those places, don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
you know, there's not that, I think, that grassroots community like vibe like there are at, you know, like this event, or you know, like I had at Magic Hour, or you know, More Fire Monday or wherever, you know, you get that like, you know, people there just hanging out and talking and sharing experiences and just, you know, holding a vibe.
Exactly. And
Party style.
yep, yep. And as you know, we continue to progress. Like as the community gets bigger and bigger, slowly, I feel like we'll have like kind of more of a reach around different places in the Central Land to kind of, you know, help that new player and or even locate that new player. Because I do understand when upon logging in, you just like, you know, you get plopped on Genesis Plaza and then you're like, now what? So as a new player, you don't really even know that you can teleport. So you're like, you
Wow.
go down the hole and then you talk to the octopus and
I'm
Oh,
still learning things. Like I didn't know that when somebody drops the coordinates in chat that you could just click that and you don't have to push backspace go to, which I was doing just up until
well, see,
recently.
all that stuff's new, even the
hmm
octopus and all that stuff. So the first time I jumped in, Genesis Plaza was completely different. It was like
what?
one level, yeah, it was one level. You jumped in, and there was no upstairs or downstairs, and it was just like wasn't much. I wish I had a picture. I don't think I do, but
Wh-
yeah,
um,
that
so how did you find Wonder Mines?
found Wonder Mine probably from looking at the map and figuring out that if you see a load of fucking red dots, that there's people there.
Oh man, the early days, like that is like that right there is like the early tech for like finding people.
Well, I mean, I used to just like after I was done mining, I used to just go on the map and look for red dots and just like jump in and like just jump in on whoever was there. That's how I met Dr. Green Thumb, who was first person to introduce me to like really everybody, and he was the first person to put my art up on his land, like, which I was so excited. Like I jumped into his land and he was there like working on it by himself, and me and him started talking, and he like, oh, you got some NFTs, I'll put them up right now, like send me a link. And I sent him a link and then refreshed, and like there was my art in Decentraland, and that was like such a huge, it's like dope feeling, and I was just so excited to see that and have that, you know, happen. And then every time I'd see him, he'd always big me up and be like, oh, this is Stoney, and introduce me, like, you know, to Zoo or the party, or like, you know, all the guys that were around back then.
Yeah, man, Dr. Green Thumb is an amazing individual. You know, I hope perhaps maybe I'll even send him this episode after we're done here tonight, so he could you know, appreciate the Stony Eye and Sultry Dubs beyond the NFT.
For sure. I talk to him on Discord still here from time to time. You know, he's people go through different phases in their life, and
Mm.
it's a trip because I see, you know, there was like this is like the third core group I've seen since I've been in here, like everybody we have at events now. So I always wonder in the future, like, I feel like most of the people that are around right now, though, are a little bit more committed because we are in a bear market. Back then it was like more hype and more stuff. So, like, people that kind of aren't around anymore, like, I totally understand, but like, I don't know. I feel like the people that are here right now are a little bit
more about it.
here for the, yeah, more about it, just about what can be, not what is, you know?
Most definitely. So you had mentioned that this is probably the third core group that you have seen. Could you kind of would you say that like this time around, like it's gotten bigger, or would you kind of say they've always been kind of the same size?
Well, the second movement, which was around, the festival last year and the announcement of Meta from Facebook, that was like just insane to us, the amount of people.
Oh yeah, it wasn't fair actually. It's not fair to compare that
Yeah,
to the current
because
group.
Genesis Plaza would have like 300 people in it. I mean, you wouldn't have 300 people anywhere. Like, I have some pictures of early zoo shows when it's like 20 of us there. It was like Nicole Nixon and Perseus and freaking Indo and UMAC and Green Thumb and Dirty Bird and I don't know, the handful of like Data and them.
You're saying all these names and like, I know them, so it's just putting such a big smile on my face.
Yeah, no, totally. And a lot of those guys are still around because, like I said, they're kind of the first movement of what I see this group as being, is like here not just for the hype, but for what could be and what they believe in. And then a lot of the people that came in during the craziness was cool. I think a lot of those people will come back, but just in general, just investments and everything is so down. Just people are, I think, just scrambling, dealing with daily life issues more than anything. It's the economy and
Yes.
the way of life right now.
That is definitely it, and the Centraland is an option. Like whenever the world started opening up to, after COVID, business started opening and stuff. I always kind of said that the Centraland will become like an option. Like it's like, okay, we don't want to go out to the movies this weekend, but let's hop into Centraland and see what our friends are doing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, me and Sultry, it's kind of was the perfect thing because, we were like settling down, or with little Stoney and having a baby, and me shifting from wanting to like out touring and playing and on the road so much. Like, that's why when I discovered I could DJ in here, was such a huge kind of relief to have an outlet that I could do from home and still get to do my music and like get some of that energy. That's why I like performing live also when I DJ, because I'm so used to playing live that I feed off of the energy of the crowd. And even though I'm in the room by myself streaming, I'm getting all the energy from everybody at the event through the chat and from seeing them do all their emotes and be in their wearables and just like the whole vibe, so it's super cool.
Yeah.
Definitely been a blessing. Creatively, it's been a blessing.
And I mean, so let's jump over to the tidy up video. What can you tell us about the experience here? Like, what was this video made for? Or, yeah, what was the music video and the song made for?
Well, that was the Divine Crime. I figured I would share some way back stuff with you guys, only because that was in the early relationships of me and Sultry, and that bass player in the video and the drummer are like my two homies I grew up with. We played in different bands throughout the years, and with HR, the singer for Bad Brains, and did a lot of stuff, and decided to start a reggae band, and we decided to get a bunch of girls and put them out in front and just like us chill in the back. Like that was our kind of our like plan, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Sultry, okay, you're playing keyboard. I was like, and she's like, what? She's like, I don't know what I never been in a band. I don't know what to like. And I was just like, oh, you're gonna start training. So I have her every day on the keyboard. I'd just be like,
So
gonna practice getting her sounds and
Sultry,
and you know.
did you have any prior experience on the keyboard before this?
Very little, not at like playing in a band level at all. Like Stoney definitely pushed me, and he like put me on a fast track. Very see, he was around a lot of Jamaicans. He was backing a lot of Jamaican bands during that time, or before that time actually, and they're like super hardcore with their rhythm section, and like you cannot fuck around with the sound. So he, like, everything that he went through with, like, you know, like the like hardcore Jamaican bands, like he put me through. So I learned so damn fast, like I can't even believe it.
I mean,
It's pretty intense. But we had like me and him were the rhythm section of our band, so we actually controlled a lot of like the dub aspects of sound. Um, so that was like really fun, and that's kind of how what has transpired, you know, us playing like more dub style music in our like DJ sets and stuff. It's just, you know, the love for that dub sound.
I love it, and so what an experience it has to be for you. Just just Tony saying he's like, okay, well, keyboard time, Sultry.
Yeah, well, because I was touring even, you know, I was touring before that when I first met her, and, you know, she didn't 100% understand the whole touring thing, and I'd be gone, and she'd be like, you know, like what the heck? And so I was like, okay, you're going to go on tour, and you're going to see how much work this is. Because, like, I think anybody who just thinks about touring, like, thinks it's a party, it's, like, such hard work. So I was like, okay, girl, you're coming on the road with
It
us.
is 100% hard work. If anybody is dating a musician out there, like it is like 95% hard work and 5% like party time.
What would you say is the most difficult part about you know, touring?
Sleeping on dog beds and driving fucking 12
Driving all
hours
night,
between shows and showing.
unloading, loading your equipment, you know, unloading your equipment just into a hotel room. If you're lucky to have a hotel room that night, you know, we weren't like, you know, you know, super rock stars, you know, set up in the nicest hotels and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of the times, you know, we were kind of
we've
like,
left shows at 2 in the morning, driven straight to the next show for sound check without any sleep, just go, you know.
Just go nap in between, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
but it is, you know, it is an experience, and you kind of like experience these highs when you're like playing in front of people, and like Josh Stoney was saying, I don't know his name, but he was saying like you get the energy from the people, and it's like this driving element to of why you do what you do, you know, just so you just keep going, even though it's like hard work. It's just there is a, even though I say it's 5% fun because that's when you're like playing your show, there's like the dynamics that comes with being in a band, that you become a family and you
Yeah,
experience all these
the
things
whole family
together.
thing. I mean, if you tour with somebody for a few months, that's like fast tracking a friendship by like 5 years, you know, because what you get to experience with each other and do, and you know, it's just it's really cool. You know, it's cool. I've been in bands. I started my first band in 7th grade, so I love the whole band thing. I'm usually in like 5 bands. Right now, I'm down to basically 1 band, which is amazing for me.
Putting in all the focus, all the hard work into one. I like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a family man now. I do the band thing just to.
We had so much equipment between the two of us, so like between my 2 keyboards, all the effects, our amps, his amp, his guitars. What did you have? I don't know. It's just so much equipment just between the two of us. And so, like, when I say like the hard work, just like lugging that stuff around is like, it's a lot of work.
Yes, I can only imagine. And then like, how many other members were in the band besides you two?
So there was, at one point, there was four guys and like five
Five
girls.
girls. Yeah, we're a big band. This band. I've been in a couple big bands. I try to steer away from that. I don't know. Singers always want big bands. They want backup singers and percussionists, and which is cool. But I'm more of the mindset of to stay limber and be able to move quick and stay in one or two hotels and have room in the van. Like
Mm-hmm.
not have to coordinate a million people for rehearsals and all that. But
So nine people. So we're total. You're accounting for nine people's worth of equipment.
nine people's equipment,
Oh.
feeding them, keeping them all happy, like dealing with inner dramas, and it's a lot. Being in a band is a lot, but it's super rewarding at the same time. I love music. My father's a musician. He's in bands all growing up. I watched him be in bands. Like I said, I started my first band in seventh grade. I really don't know much else.
At least with this band that we are featuring right now, what was the biggest show that you played at?
Um, I
Let's
would
see.
say Hempfest in Seattle, Washington. When we got we won like I was telling you earlier, the High Times Band of the Month. So we were in that magazine, and because of that, we got to play Hempfest in Washington. If anybody's from Seattle, Washington, they probably have heard of Hempfest. There's like
That's huge.
it's pretty huge. It's like
Yeah.
100,000 people would attend. And then probably we've opened for Revolution. We've opened for Midnight, which is a big reggae band.
Tribal Seeds. We played
Tribal
a bunch of
Seeds.
shows with them. We played some big shows with them in their hometown in San Diego. They pack
What?
it down there for sure.
What?
I mean, it's for me, everything kind of blends together. I played in so many bands and toured so much that like it all starts to blend together. I played Red Rocks, which is one of the biggest theaters, and I played a million dive bars. So I played big shows and little shows.
Oh my God, I'm fanboying over here. Like, I'm a huge fan of Tribal Seeds. Um, so you kind of had mentioned that that you may have played with them in San Diego. So that.
Yeah, we opened for them in San Diego. We played with them a handful of times. Their dad, who was their manager at the time, was actually really helping us out and managing us, somewhat. Like he took us under his wing and was helping us a lot and us a bunch of shows and stuff. Like were we
We
were
were
ahead of
doing
our
really
time.
good
Yeah.
at that time. We were on the right track. We could have really taken this. We had a sound too, but like we were saying, when you have like a group of a lot of people, you have a lot of personalities and a
Hmm.
lot of ideas on where things should go and how to go about it, and ultimately, the differences in the direction that we needed to be focused on kind of is what kind of drew us apart.
Yep, most definitely because it's you can say it's almost impossible for a whole group to all have the same vision in line. So
Yeah. I mean, that's why when a band does make it and do it, it's like it's almost a miracle, like a lot of times, a lot of the like Tribal Seeds, there's two brothers in that band and their dad was managing them, so that was a big driving force. But even them right now, they're down to only one original member. Like they had to you
yep.
know just along the way.
Mhm. Yep. As every band.
Fortunate Youth has two brothers in the band. Like a lot of times it's something like that, like the two brothers that'll hold it together, or the people started in, young enough, high school or something, to where it's kind of like that's all they know. Like
Mm-hmm.
it has a way of, you got fucking people get married or get drug habits or fucking have babies, or there's just
And that's the thing too. When you have momentum, momentum is like everything. If you stop momentum, it's like it's really hard to get that back. So if you're on like this track and the momentum is like really good and you're like flying, if you stop that and try to break and like, take some months off or do whatever and try to come back to that same momentum, it's really hard to like recapture that. You got to like power through a lot of the difficulties or the struggles and like keep it going to really progress.
Mm-hmm. So I guess one last question on this topic. What was the weed like back then?
oh shit, we're in Cali. The weed is always fucking top notch. I mean, I'm I've been a strong weed advocate my whole life, and I've been blessed to
Same here. My
know
dad was a
some.
grower.
Yeah, I come from a long line of whole growing California thing too, so I've been blessed with always having great connections when it comes to that.
Even when you were touring?
I can't even handle it. So like I can't. It's just too much for me.
So for you, it's right before bed, or or if you're just have a day off.
I honestly, I kind of like little tiny like micro doses of edibles. Like if I am going to like do anything, I like the effect of like a tiny little bit of an edible.
Mm-hmm. Just take the edge right off.
Yep.
I love it. Okay, so I did notice that earlier Stoney had sent me a video for one of your bands, Sultry. Oh my god, I'm not following Sultry on YouTube. Well, now I am.
That's okay. I'm not very
We're
active. I
we're not
haven't
very
really
active
been
on
active
YouTube.
on like anything lately. Everything's I just my son right now is my priority, so it's like I struggle between trying to balance like everything like I want to do creatively and like put attention to, and then I also I'm like, well, this is my little blessing right now, and it's gonna go by so fast. I need
Mm-hmm.
to like just cherish this and just be fully present for him during these times forever. Really, it's a
Mm-hmm.
forever journey, but especially these little like baby years.
Of course. I mean, family is everything, and it truly speaks a lot when you dedicate yourself to this person until just like you said, it's a forever journey. But there will come a time when you can get back to your art, and maybe even bring little Stony into it, and it'll be beautiful.
Sure.
Hmm.
100%. He's already a musician. Like
Oh.
he's all about it. So I know that he's gonna definitely you know dabble in music and art for sure.
Ooh, okay, so already a musician. What instruments is he playing?
Plays
I,
guitar. He strums it. He strums it with his little
everything. He
fingers.
loves drums,
Oh.
but harmonica. That's what I got him on the harmonica lately, because harmonica, like I got him a blues harp in C, and I'll put a blues backing track on in C, and everything he blows is in key, so he just loves it. He'll just be rocking out on his
I know
harmonica.
he's been like singing a little. He always did these like growls since he was a baby.
Oh, he's gonna be a punk
It's
singer.
like he's gonna be a punk singer. He's gonna
Yes.
be a punk singer.
Oh my God. Stony, we're gonna need some samples from the harmonica, little Stony harmonica
Oh yeah.
session.
I know. I've been meaning to have him blow some harp on a song on one of my DJ sets.
Oh man, I'm just eh, you know, let's say this Web3 journey continues, like expands through decades, right? Like I I would love to have a day where I could have little Stoney on beyond the NFT,
Totally.
and you know
Yep.
I'll be old man
That'd be so
sinful.
awesome. I see it, man. I see it. It's gonna. I'm gonna manifest that one.
He'll show pictures of us with our avatars will look so vintage.
Old man sinful, like how you doing, little Stoney?
Totally.
I
I
had
love
your
it.
I had your pops on my first show.
Right.
uh,
I'll be like, this is your mom in little booty shorts.
those were the days. Here, let's jump over to Uptown top ranking live dub. What can you tell me about the little group that you formed here?
Okay, so when our band did break up, I was in, like we were saying, there was like 5 girls in the band, or like, was it 4 or was it 5? It was like 5, but
It depends.
yeah, it depends. Sometimes we had 4, sometimes we had 5. So, I was just used to like having that female like energy, just that vibe. And when we broke up, it was like super depressing for me. I was like super sad about it, and I actually played in another band after that for a while, and then that kind of stopped and I didn't play for a while. And Stoney was like, you need to just start playing on your own. You need to just like start DJing and just like play your own music and just go out there and do it. And I thought about it, and I did actually do a couple shows just on my own, but I just missed that, like having just like a family on stage basically. So I got some of my girls that were like vocalists from some other band Stoney was in, and I asked them to sing while I like do live dub, and I'll dub their vocals, and we'll just do like a live dub kind of duo trio thing. So that's what that is. So I played with them for a couple years.
She put out an album right before Stoney was born, with these 2 girls that are in this video are on the album, as well as like another 2 or 3 girls. So we did like a collab Poultry Dubs album. It was really fun. And then this song is actually a remake of a classic Althea and Donna song, who are 2 famous girl singers from Jamaica from like probably the late 70s, early 80s, somewhere in that time. So this is actually, I remade the rhythm, and then she's like doing a live dub remix of the rhythm, and then also live dubbing the vocals. So this is kind of like a ode to Mad Professor scientist type thing.
Oh, sweet. Could we play it?
Sure.
Yes, please do, for sure.
All right.
Here in Stoney Eye Studios, Long Beach. Ashley Ire on the mic. Sultry dub crew, divine feminine coming through. Oldie but goodie. See me in me heels dancing. Them checks say we hip venting. True, them no know anything. We have them going hunting. Na pop, na style, a strictly roots. Na pop, na style, a strictly roots. See me on the road, I hear you call out to me. True, see me in the pants and ting. See me in me altar back. See me get your heart attack. Give me little bass, make me wind up me waist. Up, down, top ranking. See me with me friends and ting. We the original track dancing. Them check, come and watch us queens. It's true, we don't do a thing. But they don't know, so we top ranking. Up, down, top ranking. I love you, baby. See me in the ranking dread. check how we jamming and ting. Love is all we bring. A sultry sound system ting. Now pop, now style. A strictly roots. Now pop, now style. A strictly roots. I watch a we dub it in the scene. Sweet champion sound we sing. Love is all we bring. A sultry sound system ting. Now pop, now style. A strictly roots. Now pop, now style. A strictly roots. I'm still in love with you, boy. Yeah, I'm still in love with you, boy. Yeah, I'm still in love with you, boy. I'm still in love. I love you, baby. On the road, I hear you call out to meet you. You see me in the pants and ting. See me in me outer back. See me give your heart attack. Give me little bass, make me wind up me waist. Uptown top ranking. Love is all we bring. A sultry sound system ting. Now pop, now style. A strictly roots. Now pop, now style. A strictly roots. Yes, 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 sultry dub. Sultry sound system up here in the LBC. I love you, baby. Yeah. I love you, baby.
Donkey nuts.
What I think I might be speaking for everyone when I say that that was an amazing song. Wow, Sultry. You have an amazing voice.
Oh, that wasn't me singing.
Oh no.
That was my girl sister Kim.
Oh my lord. Well, we can add that to the Beyond the NFT bloopers. Well,
Yeah, all my girls would like sing. I would bring in like sing kind of like I brought in Lion Child when we do our like duo thing. So like I'm dubbing the rhythms and she's singing live over them.
so I have a question for you, Sultry. How did the name Sultry Dubs come to you?
Oh, my sister we started making clothing back in the day, and we created sultry like clothing. I think sultry is like a play off sultry. Well, it is basically the word sultry. It's like a super just feminine word. We both took belly dancing together, and that's just like part of just like the female energy that I just relate to. So sultry was just like a word that we loved, and we just made soul out of it. We put soul into it, and we started making clothing and having a little brand, and we had all these like visions of moving to like Europe and opening up a club, like all kinds of. It's just a long history on that, and the dubs is because I started being live, with my DJ set, so it just kind of put the two together, sultry dubs, and that's where that kind of was born.
And so you mentioned that you have done some clothing before. Would you like to screen share and show maybe some pictures that you may have of some designs?
Sure,
I
let me
can.
see.
Here, I'll show you. Let's see. Let me see if I can get my screen share working.
Alrighty, let me get this all set up. Okay, they can see your screen. I think you are
Oops.
streaming your Discord at the moment.
Yeah, of her pictures in here. So this is some of her newer clothing stuff that she did some years back. She did a bunch of hats, and she was selling these at different festivals around. In her dub line of hats.
I love these. I like the bottom left one.
Well,
Yep.
thank you. These pictures are kind of gritty. I should have got some better pics, but these are like, screenshots. And some of these clothing, some of the clothing that I have, that's like newer stuff too. This isn't like old, like sultry. This is some of the jewelry I make.
This is some of her earrings here.
Oh my god, beautiful.
Yeah, she's.
I feel like if our friend Walt Virtual was here,
I
he
know,
would
the homie.
appreciate this.
He's so cool, man. He's been nothing but super cool to me.
Oh my god, amazing individual. Like even to the point where you know how I recently got hit by the hurricane?
Yeah.
Like he reached out to me and and told me like, "Hey, if you need to come here, like, get over
Awesome.
here."
That's awesome.
Amazing
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, totally. I met him like I do a lot of wearable creators, just like reaching out to see if they want to like, collab on an event and do some stuff out, and we clicked ever since then for sure.
Mhm. So
Here's some of her other earrings here. This is another
I have a lot more. I just didn't.
yeah, we kind of rushed
Yeah.
putting stuff together to share for this event. Here's one of the shirts she made here.
So this is like a T-shirt of ours that I just like cut up, and I used the logo, and then added like fabric at the end, and added the little divots and the ribbon up top.
Oh, I love it.
Let's see.
W-
This is like another one in the. Oops.
Okay, right
The
there.
working process. This is her getting ready to sew it, or maybe she just sewed it. I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's a finished one.
So I
But
think
yeah, that's why wearables and jewelry and all that stuff was super cool for her to have another outlet for her, her clothing and her jewelry for sure in Decentraland. It was like the perfect timing and perfect fit,
most definitely. I definitely see the like on that last picture in particular. I see the like kind of like the similarities in design from what I see in some Sultry Dub's dresses to
Yeah,
this.
totally.
And
Yeah, I
so,
know.
so I guess I have to ask you like, do you have any wearable in the market that kind of was a like sketch that you kind of had like hidden away for years and then like kind of like pulled it out, like uncrumbled it for the metaverse, and you're like
Honestly, no, nothing I've like made that I've like created in DCL from before. All of that's kind of just like new kind of vision stuff.
All original.
Hmm.
I love it. But uh, definitely, I know that our entire community loves your wearable sultry, and you make some of the best female like clothing wearables in the
I
Met.
really appreciate that. Thank you.
Um, or so do you make the wearables, or are you just a designer?
So I design them, but I am here with Stoney making them, but he's more of like the one
I just
I'm
push the
putting.
buttons. She pushes
Yeah,
my buttons.
I push his buttons to push the button.
She's like that client that you is a nightmare. No, I'm just kidding. You're like that client you don't want. She's like, can you change this one?
Well, because like I just,
She's very
if I
particular.
see like one little thing that just throws
Mhm.
me off, like if something's just not shaped right, or like I don't know, I can't have something looking not like shapely or like not, proportioned right.
Mhm.
It just if it bothers me, I just can't like so sometimes he's like, I don't see that, like you're tripping. It's just like no one's gonna notice that, and I'm like, I don't know, like I notice it. That's the problem.
I mean, it's good that you kind of do point these things out because, as an artist, I feel like it's never, the journey towards perfection is never done. So, but if you could get closer and closest, or the closest to it that you can,
Yeah,
it's good enough for now, until revision time.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the struggle of every artist. I mean, there's, you know, all artists are perfectionists, and it's like at
Mm-hmm.
some point you just gotta put stuff out there, though.
Mm-hmm. So over on your line of wearables, Stony, are you the designer and creator?
Um, I've done most of my newest ones. So my first wearable that I did was with Green Thumb and Herodokai, which a lot of people probably don't even know that my name's attached to it, but it's so long ago that like it's kind of forgotten about. But that whole Art Walk line
Maybe I can
stuff that
find it.
Dr. Green Thumb put out, it's a hat and shoes and a shirt. So I did the artwork for it. Herodokai did the wearable, and I and then Dr. Green Thumb, paid for it and put it out, and then so that was my first experience with wearable, and that was right when we were able to make them, because when I was first in here, the community couldn't make wearables. You had to be like Craft or
Really?
you know AJ Walker, or like one of the ones that were like
Oh,
Polygonal Mind or something, that was allowed to put them out. There's a small amount of groups that were allowed to put wearables out. So as soon as you were able to put them out, Zoo was like the first one. Like him and Sengo were like on it. Then within, and Herodokai, he was putting stuff out instantly too. And then so we put out that wearable, and so that was my first experience. And then I did some stuff with Michi. He did like my first couple kimonos and my pants, and then I did some stuff with
Frisky Bumblebee.
Frisky Bumblebee did my flannel, and
I think that's
Crypto Cube Man did my glasses.
okay.
And then
I believe
then
Cube Man is in the Twitch chat. Big shout out.
big shout out Cube Man, that's a homie. He's so cool, man. He's such a cool guy and been such a huge supporter. Frisky Bumblebee too, like everybody in here.
I think the mask. I think the helmet.
The helmet was the first one
Cyberpunk is the first thing he did.
Yeah, the Cyberpunk helmet, the mythic Cyberpunk helmet, that's the first wearable that I did on my own and published. I did a bunch of stuff that I never published leading up to that, and the Cyberpunk one was cool, and I was just like, I had the mana, and I was like, you know what, I just want to like put this out and like just do something. Like I've been making wearables for a while now, and like You know, as an artist, as we were saying, I was like always, I could do this or this or this, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put this out, 10 of them, and you know, I'm blessed to have the support of a community and to have people who know me and support what I do. So you know, they sold out relatively quick. Like
Stoney has that like crazy determination to like
oh,
figure
and
anything out.
the hat, Ducky's King did. Seen the hat over there. Sorry.
The Stoney Eye Rasta cap.
Yeah, I just didn't want to leave him out. I feel bad if I leave anybody out. The Rasta cap, Ducky's King made for me. He's an amazing 3D artist and
Where's that at?
part
right
of the
here.
wearable committee.
It's down here. Cap, not the beanie.
Yeah, the beanie I made. Yeah, the cap, the Rasta cap.
You made the beanie?
I made the beanie.
I
I
love
made
it.
the let's see, I made
The shirt,
I made the More Fire shirt. So yeah, that's Ducky's King, the hat that it's up on the screen. It's probably delayed
Yep,
what
yep.
I've seen at Decentraland.
Yep. Ducky's King is the hat. Very, very, very nice hat. I'm very. Just now, when you just mentioned that you made the beanie, like I love the texture on this beanie.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did the beanie. I did the shoes. I did my shirt. What else did I do? I don't even know.
you did the shoes.
Oh, I did
the
my
shirt, and
unique
the-
jacket. I made my unique jacket for myself, up there on the top left.
Ooh.
That was my present to myself.
This is fresh. I wish I could see
Yeah.
it, but I guess the next best thing is I can put it on my guy. My avatar
so
looks so good with it.
I'm in the process of learning. It's so hard. Blender is so hard.
I downloaded Blender a long time ago. Like there was no Herodokai did his weekly thing. I played Herodokai's first like wearable Wednesday he had back then. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but
Okay, so you played, or you like, was it a game back then?
oh, he had an event called Wearable Wednesday on his land, and he would just basically teach how to do wearables. Sango did like a waiting episode on there, and he brought different people on to do, you know, show how they made stuff. He brought on Daddy Chang, you know, Chang Gang, who's also a good homie of mine from the day, one of the OG wearable creators.
Oh yeah.
I think Orange Joe was on there too, another homie of mine. But so they had a Wearable Wednesday. Before that, you couldn't find anything. Downloaded Blender and like that. I've taught myself like every program from After Effects, Illustrator, Photoshop, a million recording programs. Like I taught myself a million programs, and Blender kicked my ass. So I give it up to all the fucking 3D designers out there. Like.
They're
Take
freaking
some serious
amazing.
So, but yeah, most recently I've been getting into the whole emote thing. Like I've been enjoying doing emotes because, you know, I love animation. I've messed with animation for a while in After Effects. So then also even recording programs, it's kind of the same thing. You got keyframes for automation, so it's like it all kind of led up to making sense to me.
So your emotes are Stoney Eye creations?
Yeah, I did first one was just the Hessian throwing up the metal horns, you know, like just throwing it back to my young metal days, like just the old school, just something fun and something that I could put out, because the second I'd seen that we could put out emotes, like I went nuts. I fucking like grinded all day and was determined to put something out that day just to do it because we could.
Well, as soon as he saw that the program like resembled After Effects, it was like, I don't know. I knew he was gonna figure it out. He literally figured it out like overnight. He woke up the next day and was like, made the moat.
Yeah, I just put out
I was like, I knew it, because he just figured he can figure out like anything. Like a computer will not defeat him. Like no program will defeat this guy. That's why I pushed him to start learning how to make like wearables, because I was like, you can figure this out. I know you can, like faster than I can, like for sure.
Did the drip walk for the homie Dripware, who did his emote, and I also did the emote for True Band Room, the air guitar one.
Oh, okay. So there's
That was
also
Bacon Grease's idea, actually. He seen me put out my emote, and he hit me up on Discord and was like, yo, bro, you need to do an air guitar emote. And I was like, hell yeah, I do. So I did one, and then I was like, I should put this out with True Band Room, because, they have a guitar, and, like, I'm playing there right now, and it just fits their whole vibe, so we put that out together,
Mm-hmm. And of course, did you make Sultry's emote as well?
I did, yeah, that was the second one I did.
That's the other one I drove him crazy on.
It's like, the pose isn't right.
Well, because certain poses like won't look good with certain wearables, and like there was one of the poses that I like really liked, but with a long dress it just like distorted and looked like really weird, and it sucked because I had to change it, and like but it's cool. I'm just saying, like, you have to like consider all these different things, like how will it look with this, how will it look with that, and this angle and that angle.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that's just me, I don't know. I look at like everything. I think I like pay attention too much to a lot of details.
I mean, we don't blame you, because that's how perfection comes. Like,
Totally.
it is awesome that you did take the time to kind of like bug Stoney to make the changes, because like how many creators are out there that just like make it and publish it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, everyone's hyper analyzing their own stuff. That's how it is to be an artist.
He's saying some people just make it and put it out without paying attention to detail.
Oh.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah. I've seen...
You missed that one, Sin.
Over my head.
One for the bloopers, or another one.
Yeah, totally.
Stoney, could you show us a bit of like some of your favorite art pieces? I remembered that you had sent me a Google Drive link with like a whole lot of amazing art, and I just like I would prefer if you went through them and kind of like picked your favorite ones out of them.
Yeah, I'll show you some random of my stencil art, which since Little Stoney, I haven't really gotten to do much stencil art, because they take a lot of time and dedication, and like I would cut some of these for 8 hours a day for a week straight to get these stencils done. So I haven't had the luxury of having that time in a second, but I love stencil art. Like, I'm a huge street art, and I grew up loving graffiti and that whole like movement of art. So I was in a bunch of galleries all around LA before COVID hit, and originally that's kind of why I found Decentraland, was looking for an outlet for my art, and then I started DJing and kind of just went down that whole route. I think I was telling you earlier, lucky enough to get to do the art for the Popes or the show apps, or I was doing at Magic Hour, I was giving away a custom name once a week, so that was like making me do a graffiti piece every week, which was super cool. So basically,
He's got some really amazing art.
this is a piece I did here. I did a series of these girls. They're from the 1920s, called Follies girls. Damn, I can't remember. I just drew a blank. Some famous photographer from the 1920s was doing like this early pinup stuff. So I did like a series of stuff kind of dedicated to that era and that like vibe, but with the modern take of like street art in the background. I was going for a kind of like old school meets new school style.
Mhm.
So this is one of the pieces.
Mission,
Let's see.
mission accomplished with that one. I mean, the last one had like was totally your style. I mean, I've seen a lot of your work, and it just hits home with me. And I mean, I think even in the past you have sent me a little something that you had made for myself with the same style.
Yeah, I remember I did a piece for you. I don't know, like anytime I see somebody grinding super hard and bringing value to the community, I try to like somehow reach out and at least talk to them and big them up, or if I have time to show them some sort of love and just like, you know.
It,
So
it
I remember doing that piece for you, which was super cool.
it is still one of my favorite pieces. Like I have it in my files, and every time I scroll by it every day, and every day I look at them both, and I kind of like I, I I begin to brainstorm like where can I put this? Like this needs to be up somewhere. This needs to be seen by the world.
The right thing will come at some point. I didn't mint that one. I don't think. I think I just sent it to you. Usually I mint them, but for some reason, I just sent you that one. But yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
this is a different version. That's the cool thing I like about stencils too, is that I can try different. I usually spray like 2 or 3 versions of the same stencil. That's a different take on the same stencil.
Ooh, I love the background.
Let's see. This is an album cover I did for Wailing Souls, which they're a super famous reggae band from Jamaica. My friend did the album, recorded their album for them, and they reached out to me to do the artwork.
Middle one.
So the middle one was the one that they picked for the actual artwork of the album. But like I said, I usually spray like 3 or even 4 versions of a stencil, just really different color combos and just approaches. That's one reason I enjoy stencil art. And let's see,
So cool.
there's another one of that. So this is another album cover I did for this band Roots of Mine, who I produced a bunch of songs for them. They just dropped their new album. Actually, I produced some songs for them. They got a song on that new, I think it's the Clerks movie,
Oh,
the
whoa.
new one that just came out. So we got one of our songs on that movie actually that just came out, which is super cool.
That's so tight.
This is like, I did this for an office building in Santa Monica. Sultry helped me do this. This was a grind,
This
man.
was a nightmare.
This was a crazy. We did 4 walls all around that. There's like this center block thing in the middle of this office. So
And we had to do it in like 2 days.
yeah,
and
it was a chore, man. I'll
Oh.
put it that way. But
It's so clean.
yeah, but it came out. We did it. We pulled it off. But we were in there grinding probably like seriously 16-hour
I think
days.
we got like 3 hours sleep the first night. Had
Yeah.
to go back and
So yeah, so there's that, and there's me pulling off a stencil. It's the other cool thing about stenciling is like, you cut the whole stencil, you don't know what it's gonna look like,
Whoa.
and even till you spray that last layer and peel it off, you don't really know what it's gonna look like. So it's like super rewarding to pull it off and like see that final.
That Jimi
Reveal.
Hendrix one is tight.
So here's another Jimmy.
had to do like, because I always help him when he's doing his stencils, because there's like all these moving parts with like the stencil. He cuts it on thin paper, and like if the weather's not right and like the wind's
Well, it's always
blowing
windy as hell
everywhere,
in Long Beach. Yeah, we do it outside,
I'm
so
like,
be blowing the paper
we're like
everywhere.
chasing the paper and holding it down, and
You guys, some people might recognize this one. This one I actually made into an NFT. One of the few ones I've made into an NFT. I would like to at some point make a lot of these NFTs, but I just haven't done it because I don't quite have the audience yet to receive them, you know, so I don't want to just like mint them and have them kind of sit there,
Mhm.
you know.
Yep, yep.
Here's another. I have this one hanging in my hallway. This was one of my favorite pieces I did here because I love Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, that one's
I have
hanging
this
in
one
your hallway?
framed. Yeah, I have that one framed, hanging in my hallway. And here's some of my other. You guys might recognize this one as I minted these. I minted 4 of my geishas.
Oh, the Willy is my favorite.
This is Willie
Hello, Willie.
Nelson. That one does good for me. I sell prints of that one on in Art America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does good for me. I've sold a good amount of that one. Let's see. Here's some more of those one girls that I was talking about. This was like, so this, this I sprayed 4 different times on one canvas and had to block it all out and lay the layers. I think this is a 6-layer stencil. So this right here was, between cutting it and spraying all this, this was like probably close to a couple weeks of like 8-hour days dedicated to this piece right here.
Wow. For how long?
Because
Oh yes, Shaw. I saw Shaw said must look cool. They're framed up. They look so good in the frames.
this is at this art collective I was a part of in Laguna Beach before everything closed down. This was a bunch of stuff I had up there on my skateboards, and there's the Hendrix all framed up and the Willie all framed up.
Mm-hmm. So sick.
Marilyn on a skateboard.
That's an awesome wall.
Yeah, I've been blessed to get in some pretty nice galleries. I did this is a friend of ours who's a super big reggae artist out of Australia, Natalie Rise.
It's on my album too.
Yeah, she's
On
on
the
Sultry's
intro.
album on the intro, but she's an amazing singer and artist and performer. I did I think 20 of each of these 2 designs, and she sold them on tour, and they sold out really quick. They did really good. People were loving these. She was hand signing them too when she would sell them. This is like one of those
What do you call this?
electrical boxes that I did for the city.
Oh, okay.
This is another
Go ahead.
grind right there. That was a chore. Me and Sultry helped me do this too. So we busted ass on this. This was a lot of work. It's one of those things you never know what you're getting yourself into until you get into
It's
it.
like a band. It's a lot of work. It's never like it's supposed to go so smooth and it's supposed to be easy-ish, but there's something like always that.
There's another big one I did for
Here.
another company in Bakersfield right here.
Here, 1 second. Let me give everyone a bigger view here. Press this, click on that, come over here, and all right, we're good. Continue. Sorry.
Sweet, yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, this is I did this for an office they were building in Bakersfield for this big company, and yeah, these bigger ones I would like to do more, but they're hard to get the gigs, and then they're a lot of work. This is it done. It's my homie who did it with me. Me and him have done got him into stencil artwork. And then he's a dope-ass artist on his own. And so we've done a handful of pretty cool big murals for these like corporate office gigs, So this is the Beastie Boys right here. You guys, some of you might recognize there's a version that I did that's always behind me lit up with lights when I DJ. It's on like a projection TV I found in my alley and like tore it apart and put LEDs in it, and then did the piece that's hanging behind me always when I DJ. But this is the piece that was on canvas, and I sold this original to some guy in Florida actually. some like pharmacist in Florida hit me up, and I sold it for really good money. Actually, I was probably the best piece I ever sold, and I sell a lot of prints of this one too on Fine Art America. This is my best selling one for sure. Like, I think it has to do with the subject matter of it, being the Beastie Boys and tying into the whole street art thing.
So awesome. You would say it would be between this one and Willie for the top sellers?
As far top sellers for prints for sure. Like, yeah, if I had like 20 that sold as good as this Beastie Boys, I would be doing good just off of prints.
You never know. Time will tell. You just, I know that you're a hard worker and that you're here for the long run. So anything could happen, Stoney.
Yeah, no, totally. I want to pursue the art NFT thing more. I actually did 2 whole projects of like NFT projects with like, I did all the different assets and traits, and like I worked really hard on 2 different projects, and I was just the artist on both of them, and other people were responsible for marketing and getting it out there and building the site and blah blah blah, and the fruitation, not on my part, but just because of circumstances. And so yeah, at some point I hope to pursue the art NFT thing a little bit more. But
would you say just solely on art, or would you kind of add your produced music to it?
I mean, I'm super bullish on music as NFTs, so like to do a project that somehow included both would definitely be my ultimate dream, as far as like and maybe even 3D art with music. I don't know. I think in the years to come I'll have more time to really explore. As of right now, like Sultry said, I've been trying to focus most of my energy just on being a family guy and doing that whole thing, and having my creative outlet has kind of gone to the back burner. But I'm blessed to be able to perform for all you guys in Decentraland every week and get my fix of live performance and energy from you guys.
And we definitely appreciate that you do this for us every week. I believe before your Sunday events were stopped going, I believe you had one of like the longest playing shows. Am I correct to say this? Like, how long was your Sunday morning? How many weeks did you do your Sunday morning shows for?
It was around the same amount of time as I did Magic Hour. Magic Hour might have even been a little bit longer, to tell you the truth. And
really,
in November right now would have been a year straight for Magic Hour.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
Well, the zoo's the longest running one that I'm aware of. He holds it. He's on like week 80 now, so he holds the title for that for sure.
Oh yes, how could I forget about Zoo? Me coming in myself, I landed at a Zoo event.
Yeah, totally. I'm stoked. I played Halloween last year for him, which was the biggest show I'd ever done to that point. I think we had like 1,100 people claim our Pope last Halloween. It was packed for his build, and so I'm super excited to perform there again on Friday with Milan and Sui and Buffalo and Gucci. So I'm really excited about that one. But I now with the True thing, I pretty much played a show every week for a year straight. Well, really multiple shows. Like if I only have one show, it's kind of amazing. But that's kind of my show that I give to the community. Any other show is more for like a certain project or something else. But as far as my shows, Magic Hour, and then now more Fire Mondays, that's like you just kind of trying to add the community and, you know, add value to the community and give something for people to latch onto and have, you know.
Mm-hmm. I have to say I was very excited when you started doing MoFi on Mondays because I like Mondays are usually hectic for me, just prepping the show, but your show just happens to land at a perfect time where I could like jump in and like do my final preparations and actually enjoy before like
Awesome.
actually like digging deep into everything else.
Awesome. Yeah, I tried to look for a time where I could like promote other cool stuff going on that day. You know, that's why I enjoyed doing Wednesday with Wagami Wednesday, you know, because I could always promote that. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, you know, I don't want to do another Wednesday show. When I changed, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do Monday.
Yep. Mondays are amazing days on the metaverse. I have to say, it's like all day. Like okay, let's see. From my time at least, I think starting from 4 p.m. So it would maybe be 1 p.m. for you. Like just runs all day.
Totally. Yeah, no, totally. That's why when I seen that little empty space in there, I was like, oh, perfect. I'm gonna do 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock PST on fucking Mondays. That's my time.
I love it. Um, so what is next for Stony Eye and Sultry Dubs? Any exciting projects or that you are working on, or anything that you would like to kind of hint at everyone?
I mean, I'm excited for this Metaverse festival coming up for sure, you know, and I'm blessed to be able to perform there.
What?
And so you're gonna see me on the one of the Ozfest stages. I'll be there rocking it for you guys. I'm super excited about that.
Oh man,
You know,
Stony,
last
you're
year when I seen it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be involved somehow next year. I don't know how, but I'm going to be involved."
oh, you're gonna have to send me a link or something warning me before the show comes on, because I have to be there.
Awesome, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I mean, other than that, I don't know. You know, I take it one day at a time and just continue grinding and building, and you know, being a part of the community. And I just looking forward to the next bull run like everyone else, I think.
Would you think that the next bull run, like, okay, so I've thought about this kind of quite a bit, like last bull run, I feel like in a way like it was harder to connect with people. Like, and when I say connect, I'm saying like kind of like actually get to know the individuals because everything's just going so fast. Uh,
You're 100% right about that. Definitely, that's a good observation on your part for sure.
so so like as much as I want the bull run to come, at the same time I almost feel like I'll miss these days.
True, because friendships are being developed. You get to know people better.
Yeah, I mean, I think friendships and the you know, the just us connecting and all that is gonna carry through and last, and we're gonna have a big, huge, strong group and like this presence all
Mhm.
together. I think it's just help. You know, these times right now are gonna help. It's kind of like when you do tour with a band. You're not in a bus, you're in a van, and you're not sleeping. Like you know, you become more homies with those guys than if you were flying around in a private jet and like, you know, like on some like top tier shit, like bull run shit. So like we're
We're in a van
in
right
the
now.
trenches right now, so we're forming these tight bonds that are gonna, I think, last and carry us through this next bull run and make it better than the last one.
Most definitely. So how about you, Sultry? What's next for the Sultry brand?
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna put out more wearables.
I love it.
I'm pretty addicted to that right now. I have so many. I have too many that I want to like that I just can't like fast enough, I guess, which is fine because I don't want to like, put out a lot so quickly, but I definitely like
Hi.
that avenue of creativity and say hi.
Say hi.
Hi. That's the
Oh,
sinful meat stick.
the special appearance is here. I'm so happy.
That's Uncle Sin. Say hi to
That's
Uncle
That's
Sin.
Sinny Sin Sin.
And the
Tell him.
DCL
Tell him
family.
pumpkin. Tell him pumpkin. Tell him pumpkin. Say pumpkin. He's obsessed with Halloween.
Oh,
And maybe play more, eventually, Sin. I'm playing this Wednesday at Wagami Wednesday Scorpio season party.
what?
Hope you guys can make it.
Oh, I definitely have to make it
Yes.
now. Oh, I'm so excited for Wednesday. Um,
No going the night early.
so, what was I? Oh God, I just hit a whole total brain fart here. Well, I'm really happy that little Stoney managed to, wake up from his nap, say hello to us.
Problem.
What? So,
You wanna say hi?
does little Stoney have any future projects lined up himself?
We did put out his like first little scribble on the iPad on OpenSea.
Yeah, I put out his first scribble he did on the iPad. It's a NFT. So he has little Stoney he has little Stoney on OpenSea. He's got his own little account, and actually, some homies picked one up and bought and supported. So he's got an NFT out there. He's probably sold as many or more than I have sold of our NFTs.
We're counting on little Stoney to support this family.
I'm just so hopeful for the future because I know you two are just amazing individuals and very, very creative individuals, and just to like think of what Stoney could grow up to be, it's just heartwarming for me.
I know. I know. We got him and Little Tracks. They're the future of DCL right there.
Oh yes, yes. What is his name officially? T-Rex, DJ T-Rex.
T-Rex, yeah.
They are the
It's the most
future.
important thing, how we shape their experience, and it's so important.
Mm-hmm. What is Lil Stoney gonna dress up as this Halloween?
He's a ninja.
He's a ninja.
He has a ninja outfit that he just looked at me like,
He's
where's
like,
my
"Where's
ninja
my ninja?"
outfit?
He loves
Uh,
ninjas. If anybody's got kids and they need something to watch Hello Ninja.
Hello Ninja.
He
Heard.
thinks he's a ninja, and he wants to wear his little ninja outfit all day long. It's super cute.
Oh,
He actually, I think this is going to be his favorite holiday.
you think so?
'Cause he loves everything like skulls, ghosts, pumpkins.
Getting that
He
punk
wants to play
rocker.
harmonica for you.
Are we gonna get a performance?
He did play a little for you guys.
Thank you, little Stoney. All right. Well, so
That's a trip. It's a trip because sorry, was I cutting you off?
oh no. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was saying, since having little Stoney, every like man in this world, like I see the like young baby boy in them. Like I'm like, you were, somebody's little baby at one point. Like, I love you. I just want to squeeze you. It's just a trip.
Yeah. Wow, you're making me think. You're making me think a little deep now. I'm like thinking, what was I like when I was a baby? I must have been cute to some degree. To some degree.
Yeah, yeah. The cutest thing ever to your mother, you know?
Yes. I believe my little sister may be in the Twitch chat, so she might be able to confirm. Uh, so,
Nice.
I'm all out of questions for you guys tonight. By any chance, would you guys have any questions for me? Perhaps that might be a no. Not right now, at least.
Sin, like, what do you,
Oh,
what do you do? What's your background?
what is my background? I
Yeah,
mean,
like before this whole NFT and like before Web3, like what do you, are you an engineer? Do you like, are you a mechanic? Like,
uh, professional degen extraordinaire. uh,
you're
ba-
like, oh wait, I wasn't, that's too personal.
I mean, definitely. I waited tables for a few years. Actually, since I started working, there was always like throughout the times that I did have multiple jobs, I was always waiting tables. So I almost feel like perhaps I may not think I have it, but I guess I might have like some sort of I can speak to a crowd in a way. I feel like waiting tables kind of did help me, whenever I would and I was waiting tables for like 4-star restaurants. Uh, like family dinner comes in, 12 people, me in charge. Uh, they it almost always felt like a presentation, like I was giving them a presentation, showing them like what are the best dishes and what experiences they could have like around town, or I was always being a showman in a way. So with that being said, like I'm these skills may have transcended for me into the metaverse. um, Shortly after I stopped waiting tables and kind of like said I was done working for someone else, um, like, and wanted to start building something for myself. I started Twitch streaming, and I Twitch streamed for about 2 years. Didn't really get much engagement. Had like 2 solid viewers for those 2 years, and those individuals still come in and say hello sometimes. But
That's awesome.
yeah, but I never really got a sense of community or until like I came into the Central Land, I would say. Coming into the
Makes
Central.
sense.
Hmm?
So that makes sense, like
Yes.
it, certain things just aren't community driven. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Twitch could be community driven. I don't know a whole lot about it, but Decentraland is definitely very community driven. So you landed in the perfect, and honestly, you were needed in this space. Someone who fills your role was needed in this space heavily at the time. So
Mo-
life and the universe has a funny way of lining things up for you sometimes.
Yes, most definitely. Uh, like my personally, I never saw myself in the position of having the opportunity to host Beyond the NFT every Monday night for an awesome community. Um, like when it comes to Twitch, like there are many communities, but like those communities are nothing compared to this community when it comes to like sense of like love and compassion towards one another. And it, coming from the web 2 video gaming communities, it's like everyone's at each other's throats, everyone's trying to tear each other down. So this was definitely a good change.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that. I could see that. That's
Everybody here, for the most part, is like super positive and supportive, and that's what I love about it.
Yes, I mean, and even some of my favorite things to do is just meet new people in the space, and like just like you never know who you're talking to. You just meet a new individual, and you just
I
vibe
love
with them.
that.
That is so true.
And the thing is, you don't
I
even
I'm
love that.
have
convinced
to know. Pardon me? What what was that last part,
that I'm
Sultry?
convinced that David is Lady Gaga.
You know what? I have my suspicions as well, and I'm also convinced that Gary might be Elon Musk in disguise.
Hey, you just never know. You never.
But and like that's
Really.
the beauty of this space. You don't have to know either. Like if the individual
Yeah.
chooses to
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
tell you, like it's cool, but like
Or to dox themselves like you do.
I'm
mhm.
gonna meet Tang one day. She doesn't know it, but I'm gonna meet her.
I've been blessed. Me and Rustan have hung out now. I think 4 times we've actually hung out now. Me and Rustan. I met Dino. I met Shelly. I met Jestic,
uh,
Dr. Drip,
Last Slice,
Lastrum.
Lastrum, and
Um,
Gigi Casemiro.
That's awesome.
yeah,
Am I saying her
so
name right?
I've been blessed to actually a lot of people from Decentraland, which is really cool and surreal.
I have to tell you how jealous I am that you met Rustan. I want to make an
Oh, he's so
appointment.
cool. Rustan.
Uh,
You want a body painting?
I want a body painting experience from Rustan, and then I want him to NFT me. I'll pay for it.
I was just gonna say, dude, if you guys did that and NFT that, you know how hard that fucking would blow up. I mean, people affected by that shit, me included.
Let's go. Let's get like a DCL portrait of all of us just body painted. Or different series. Rustan, are you writing these ideas down? This is gold here. All right. Well,
Rustan, you got to redo the pink Floyd.
Rustan's a cool guy. Super chill.
um,
Yeah, yeah, it's a trip to have met people from Decentraland in real life. Like, it's a trip to meet them after you already feel like you know them so much. It's especially a trip if it's like Dr. Drip or Murph Jestic and they're not like docs, so you don't know like you don't know what they look like at all. Like you don't know like anything about them.
But then there's the other side of the spectrum when you have awesome individuals like Rustan. What did it? There will be much sinning. That's what Rustan replied to us.
Yeah, you gotta come out. Come out. Fucking
That's
West
that's the
Coast.
way that's the way you gotta dox yourself, Sin. Come out with a bang.
Come out with a bang. Let's go. Okay, Rustan, coming to California, coming to meet you. You let me know when the appointment is. I'll be there. All right. Well, I think we have our show for tonight. Any final words that you would like to tell everyone in the crowd before we close down for tonight?
I mean, just my usual thing that I really appreciate everyone's support and energy and vibes and supporting me and coming out to my events and truly cherish each and every one of all of you guys, you know?
I mean, Stoney,
Same here.
we love you. And Sultry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the same. I feel the same way. I'd just be basically repeating everything you said, and just how just thankful that there is a community that's super sweet, super open and welcoming, and a community that makes me want to, come back to it every single day, hang out.
Most definitely. Like, can we put a vote on a vote here? Best community ever. I vote yes. All right. Well, Sultry and Stoney, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been an honor to be able to get both of you on Beyond the NFT and get to know you better. Um, Thank you for sharing your music. the, the, this is definitely like something that I will start exploring and adding to my own personal playlist. Oh, actually,
Awesome.
actually,
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for
s- uh,
just
s-
hosting and giving us an opportunity to share more about us.
I,
And
I won't be so shy next time.
all right. So I
I
heard
remember first you.
I heard next time. So that means you're coming back. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So actually, Sultry, I have one more
Sometime
question.
in the future.
Where can people
Okay.
find your album?
My album
Mm-hmm.
on Spotify, on iTunes. Do people even use iTunes anymore? Spotify, I guess, would be the easiest
yeah,
way.
everywhere, YouTube,
Any digital like
anywhere.
Amazon.
If you search Sultry Dubs, you'll find her.
Okay. Oh, found her. Let's go. Well, thank you, Stoney. Thank you, Sultry, for joining us tonight. And before we close out, I would like to give a few shout outs to our sponsors: Dr. Drip, Meta One Designs, Vox Boards, Songbird Collective, the Baby Dolls, and of course Prager Metis. If you ever have any crypto tax questions or need to be advised with it for your crypto taxes, make sure to hit up Prager. And I would also like to uh, just pull this bad boy up. Uh, our baby dolls have requested a grant, and as this has been up for about, I don't know, a few hours, and we already have 66 votes. So I want to thank every single one of you that has already voted on this grant. Baby dolls are elite, and they are a pillar in our community. So I I support 100%. Thank you, everyone, and please stand by as I raid the next streamer.